Hey everyone, Laurel here. Welcome to another Simply Card Making video. Before I get into this video, I had this whole voiceover done. In the last 15 seconds, a bug crawled across my screen and freaked me out, and I screamed like a little girl, and I have to redo it all. Then I was almost done the second time I redid the voiceover, and I got a FaceTime call, and I couldn't figure out how to shut it off my computer. So boo. So anyway, let's cross our fingers in hopes that I can get through this voiceover and get this video uploaded. So I'm making this card today, and this is for the current Mix It Up challenge over at the Ellen Hudson classroom. Last month we released a stamp and die called Courage. This is for a fundraiser for the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. $25 of the purchase from the purchase of this set goes directly towards the research foundation. So I hope you'll check it out. It's a beautiful, beautiful set. I'll link to it below. Check it out and consider purchasing it and donating to this very worthwhile foundation here. We really need to kick cancer in its butt. So I took the ribbon die and die cut it with some white cardstock, and then I'm going to go ahead and start stamping some of these small florals onto the ribbon die. I'm using Altenew mini inks here today, and I'll link all of the colors that I'm using as I go at the bottom of the screen there for you all. Wanted to show you how you can do some laminating without heat, and that's what those polka dots are. So I have a glue pen here. I'll link to the Quickie glue pen, which is a great pen you can use for this. Any kind of glue pen that dries tacky will work for this. Go ahead and make sure it's good and dry, and then after it's dry, it's going to be tacky to the touch. Then you can take your foil, I'm using some pink melon deco foil, and rub it all over the top, and anywhere where that glue is, the foil is going to stick to it. And here is a great way of foiling without dragging out your laminator or investing in the purchase of a laminator. You get those pretty foily images there. To create the base of my card, I took the ribbon die and I traced it with a pencil because I needed to know where I needed to focus my stamping of the florals here. This is a layering stamp set, and it's so easy to use. Layering stamp sets freak me out. I am scared of them. And I always use my Misty stamping tool for any layering sets, but with this one I didn't have to. As you can see, I'm just using a regular round block, and it's so easy to layer these images. Some of the images are like a 3 stamp process, or you can just stamp a couple of layers if you want, or you can just stamp the base. It's really whatever you want to do, but the point is this is a very easy layering stamp set to use. They actually have a layering guide. You can download it off of the Ellen Hudson website if you want to too, but it's so easy to use. So there's also different species. Is it species of flowers? I'm not really a flower expert. I just know what I like and I know what I don't. You know, I know what's pretty and I know what's not. And all of the flowers in this stamp set are really pretty. This is my first spring up here in Connecticut. So I've seen some buds, but I haven't seen anything bloom yet. So I can't wait to see what is in my yard. I have no idea what kind of flowers and stuff and landscaping I have in my yard. So that'll be exciting to see. And speaking of flowers, I planted my first peony ever. I can't grow peony. I'm from Florida. I can't grow peonies in Florida because it's too hot, but you can grow them up here. So I've got my first peony planted, and I can see a little tiny bud, and I cannot wait to see that thing bloom. Anyway, all right, I've got all my flowers stamped there, and I'm going to add some polka dots again using that same Quickie glue. And basically, as I was looking back at this, I just gave my card chickenpox. I'm adding dots all over the flowers and the centers, all around the outside, all over the place. I'm adding dots. So I gave my card chickenpox, but they are pretty foily chickenpox, so it should be okay, right? The key to foiling with your glue is just to make sure that glue is good and dry. It'll be tacky to the touch. You'll know when it's dry, and then you know you can finish out the foiling. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow ink here. This is Mango Smoothie to the ribbon there, just to tie in more of that yellow that I stamped on the card base there. And then I'm going to add, and it's time to do the foiling. It's time to foil those chickenpox. So I'm just going to place my foil right over the top. I'm using my hand. I'm just rubbing it in there, and that glue is going to pick up all that pretty foil. Just like that, with no heat. No extra tools needed. I'm going to erase the pencil marks from my ribbon die here. And then it's time to go ahead and kind of assemble everything, get the sentiment on there, and then this card will be done. Speaking of sentiments, this set is gorgeous. It has some uplifting, beautiful sentiments. It has sentiments for survivors. It has sentiments for people that are going through breast cancer right now. Beautiful, beautiful. You got to check it out. Don't turn off your computer without clicking over and taking a look at that stamp set, okay? Promise me, promise me. Now here I did grab my Misty because I am notorious for stamping my sentiments crooked and then ruining my project. I don't know if you guys do that, but I do it all the time, along with adhering my card upside down. But that's a different story. So anyway, So I used my Misty to make sure my sentiment was good and straight. And now I'm going to pop up that ribbon die there with some foam tape. And then this card is just about done. Just about done. Thanks for hanging with me. And I'm so glad no more bugs have crawled across my screen, or I have not gotten any more FaceTime calls in the process of this voiceover. So I guess that's something. And to finish off this card, I did not have a good colored card base that would match the card that I made. So I'm just taking some of that coral berry ink that I used on the floral, on some of the floral images over there on my card panel, and I just blended it onto a card base. And now I will have a perfectly matched card base to go with my card. And that finishes the card. You guys, thanks so much for joining me. This was a very difficult voiceover for me to pull together. I got some bad luck going today. I need to go get some good juju. I need some good juju. You know what I'm saying? So be sure to click on the links below. I'll have a link to this beautiful, beautiful stamp set and die. I'll have a link to the Ellen Hudson Mix It Up Challenge for you guys to play along. And I'll have a link to my blog post, so you can see more still shots if you want. And then all the supplies I used, of course, are linked below as well. So thank you so much for hanging with me. Oh, you all deserve a big reward for hanging with me through this video today. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.